Hi and welcome to Rock Solid Productions, where today we are going to talk about PlayStation Vue. You've heard us talk about PlayStation Vue in a number of our different videos regarding cord cutting, and here we are today to actually take a look at it. Not only the type of services that are available out there, but how the service works on a number of different platforms. So one of the first things with PlayStation Vue is the naming structure, PlayStation. It's something Sony has done to kind of brand all of their entertainment categories. It does add a little bit of confusion though, because you don't need a PlayStation to subscribe to PlayStation Vue. I'm going to show you that here today, as we do have a PlayStation 4 that we will be running the service on. It is also compatible with the Nvidia Shield TV, the Roku boxes that are out there, Chromecasts, the Apple TV boxes, and a number of different pieces of equipment. So just because you don't have a PlayStation, don't think you can't subscribe to PlayStation Vue. Now recently PlayStation and Sony have increased their prices. They used to have two tiers of service, one designed for those who lived in markets where they provided local channels. There was generally a $10 upcharge for people who lived in those areas. For those who didn't live in those areas, they offered slim packages. Basically it was $10 off. So before, the plan started at $29 and went up to $64 for the slim packages. Now everybody pays the exact same cost regardless of whether or not you have local channels available, and that would start then at $39 and go up to $44.99, $54.99, and the top tier that they offer is $74.99. So some very nice things about the service itself. First and foremost, it does have a cloud-based DVR, so you can record things and be able to watch them later. You're not just stuck with utilizing on demand. You can also view up to 5 streams at one time. If you have a house with a number of kids or a number of different people in there and you want to be able to watch different things on different televisions, this by far has the most robust streams out of any service that I've seen thus far, at 5 streams, compared to, I believe, Sling TV offers 3 and DirecTV NOW is only 2. In addition, like I said, it is available on a number of different categories, or a number of different boxes and streaming components out there, depending on the type of equipment you want to go with. Since it's called PlayStation, let's look at it first on the PlayStation. And as you see, they have a nice icon here right on the menu for Vue. And this is going to launch us into our PlayStation Vue menu. Now the experience is vastly different on certain devices. It feels very similar to me going from my PlayStation to my Nvidia Shield TV, but as I'll show you in a few moments, the experience on a Roku box is drastically different. Now because I am streaming, oh, this is a new on Vue. Spoiler alert, our live action scores spoiling the action. You can turn off scores in settings. It's actually really a nice, convenient heads up on there. I know I'm an MLB TV subscriber. I always have my scores turned off, so that way if I'm watching the game after it started or even after it's over, it doesn't spoil the result. So here you can see I'm in the main menu and it can show me what's on right now. I can go up here and I can search, explore, look at my channel guide, go into my settings, and then you can actually have, I'm going to go in here first. Well, it doesn't allow me to go in there, but it shows you the current user profile that you have on here. You can store multiple user profiles, so myself, my girlfriend, my daughter, we can each have our own profiles. And where that's important is when you get into the guide here, you can look at all channels, and then you can also look at, I'm going to go all the way to the left, my favorite channels. So I've only gotten a couple here that are set as my favorite. So I've got Fox Sports 1, NBC Sports SN. You know, that's, if you've watched any of these videos, you guys know how important NBC Sports Network is to me. And then USA. I do want to make sure that I am recording Monday Night Raw. And for that, so that's again a good way to segue into showing you the different options as far as the DVR functionality. All that I have to do is, if I had my regular controller on me here, I could just press L1 to add this to my show, or R1 to add to my shows. That way it actually records it for me. So I'm going to actually go in here, it'll tune it, and I'm going to go down, and It's actually already in my shows, so it's recording for me. I can start over, return to live, or this is a cool thing too, where I can actually split it up and do a picture-in-picture and have 3 different things going at once. Especially this time of year, it's late summer, early fall, we're getting ready for baseball season to start. Or I'm sorry, football season to start, and we're getting ready for the push to the baseball playoffs to start too. So this way on Sundays, I can have my football game here and baseball off to the side and NASCAR or Formula 1 or whatever I want to watch. So we're going to back out of here real quick. Want to look at or just show you the menu system that they have here on the PlayStation. Obviously, the best experience is going to be on a PlayStation. Just because you can use it, like I mentioned, on other devices, doesn't mean this isn't still your best option. And honestly, right now, if you need a good Blu-ray player, getting a used PlayStation 3, which this is compatible with, is probably one of your best ways to go. PlayStation 4 also a great way to do it. So you have access to ABC On Demand, Fox On Demand, NBC On Demand. I'm hearing word that DirecTV Now will be adding CBS in the near future, so let's hope for other services that'll come too. You have your viewing guide here in alphabetical order, starting from AMC, going all the way down to, I think it's Wii Television is the last one. So if you see a show that you want to watch, so I've got Star Trek Voyager, it's telling me this is live. I can click in here and it'll take me in just a few seconds. And now I'm watching BBC America. And then if I click the little icon down below, it'll actually give me a synopsis of the episode itself. If I would like, I can go up to the add to my shows. Here I can add Voyager to my shows. It'll only add it, from my understanding, broadcast on this channel, which again is BBC America. I watch Voyager very rarely. I prefer Deep Space Nine. Avery Brooks, best captain ever in the history of Star Trek. And yes, I'm sure that I want to remove that from my shows. So we'll go back from here. And at any time to get to the menu system, and you can pause. This does have time shifting, and it does also work not only with the enter key, like I have here on the remote, but with the play and pause too. If I press stop, that gets me to my top menu here. Explorer lets me kind of see everything that's available regarding on-demand type programming. That's something going weird right now with the cable. I think I've got a bad HDMI cable actually going from my PlayStation to my television right now. Game of Thrones, if you're a fan of that, you can catch up on that there. Snapped, Ray Donovan, Sports Center, UFC. I mean, there's tons of on-demand content available for you on here. You can also use your PlayStation Vue credentials to log into third-party apps. So HBO Go, if you have it in your plan, you can do it. NBC Sports SN, ESPN, the Fox Sports Go app, any of those apps that can be accessed via your provider login, PlayStation Vue is on a majority of them. In fact, I have yet to find one that my login does not work. So that's how it works on the PlayStation itself. Now let's look at some of the settings that we have here too. This is where I mentioned that you can add different profiles on here. You can change or add your subscription. Device settings, go in here. It will automatically log you in if you have different profiles. It'll select which one to log you in. Toggle scores on and off. That was our alert that we saw when we first came on. I am going to turn that off. And disable inactivity timer. Basically, for some people like me, I like falling asleep with my television on. I don't like when it just goes like on a Chromecast or on Netflix where it just cuts you off and you just have the, hey, are you still watching? Yes, I'm still watching. I want it on. Shut up. So we're going to back out of here. And then there's the obligatory help screen. So that's pretty much how it works here on the PlayStation itself. We're going to change our inputs and we're going to go to the Nvidia Shield TV. And actually I'm going to close the application as well, just so that way it doesn't use up any bandwidth and we don't have any funky issues there. And I don't know what this was on beforehand, but we're going to go to the PlayStation Now app. Fire it up. As you can see, same splash screen as what we had earlier. And very cool. I hadn't, clearly you can see I hadn't seen this before. I'm going to hide my scores. So you're getting the same alerts across platform. That's good to see. I just happen to have BBC America on earlier, so here is Voyager coming through. It'll take a second. One of the cool things here is you do have, let me bring this back up, you do have a signal strength meter regarding your Wi-Fi on the left-hand side. But all of this looks incredibly similar to what we had before. I can add to my shows. I can get program information. I can go back to the beginning on certain programming depending on if the station allows that. Bless you, Pine Top. Now if I hit the back arrow, that brings up my menu where I can go home, guide, search, explore, settings. Very similar experience again to what we had on the PlayStation itself. The guide, very similar, and I didn't point this out on the PlayStation, but if you notice, the channel that I was watching is live in the upper right hand corner. So we have a lot of consistency between this and between what we had on the PlayStation. So I think a lot of that has to do with the fact Sony makes Android TV powered televisions. It makes sense for them to keep that experience available on their own equipment and update it as much as possible. Again, here's all my favorites that we had. So very cool there. I'm going to back out of here and I'm going to go to Explore, and again, same thing that we had a little bit earlier. Now I can go down, and this is a functionality as well that is the PlayStation version, but it'll show me live TV that I can scroll through at this point in time. My shows, these are things that have recorded on the DVR system. So the NASCAR race from over the weekend is on here. Star Wars Rebels, I'm a Star Wars nerd, guys. It's important to me. That's available on here. I recorded Snowden on Showtime over the weekend. SmackDown is set to record, or did record last week. Raw, which we saw earlier. And I can sort by favorite channels. Sports, if I'm looking for different sporting events, there's MLB Tonight. Let's see, what else do we have? The Big Ten Network Live. There's NFL football. This is coming up, the Seahawks versus the Chargers. Sorts by kids, sorts by featured shows too. So really a very nice and cohesive feel between the PlayStation and the Nvidia Shield TV. And much like the Live Channels app that I've shown you in the past, it continues to play in the background. Now looking at this, this does not look quite as sharp to me as the PlayStation did as I'm watching it now. And I cannot scroll like up and down to change what channel I'm on. Now that was a show that was recorded, I believe, in 480p. So let's go, again, we'll go back to Raw, see if it's in a commercial or anything. This should be full 1080p coming straight from USA. And this looks pretty sharp here. So that was probably due to the original broadcast quality and the original broadcast type. So now let's go to the black sheep of the family and let's go to the Roku. Because the experience that I just showed you here, it's not as good on the Roku. So as you see, you have your DirecTV Now, you have your PlayStation Vue, Netflix, all that you can get through your Roku box. So we're going to go to PlayStation Vue. This is the $49.99 Roku streamer that I have here. It's the lowest price one that has a non-RF or non-IR remote, basically. Now, you see where it dumped me in. It's kind of a bleh, really. It's a block of channels that I can watch, but it doesn't take me immediately into the live stream. Shows me my recently watched, my shows. If anything, this might be a little bit more convenient to get to my shows, but I don't like the fact that it doesn't take me straight to a channel, straight to something broadcasting on here. To find a show, you hit the star key. Nope. No, you don't. You don't hit the star key. You can search for a show that you're looking for. If you're doing this, I highly recommend downloading the Roku app so you're not hunting and pecking using your up, down, left, right on here. You can actually type it out on your phone or tablet. Channels, you can look through your favorites, recent or all. So this is what you're looking at as far as finding what's. So doing a little bit of research on here, looking a little bit in between cuts, you guys just saw an edit there, but there really is no program guide, so you can't really see what's coming up now. This is really something that kind of gimps the service. It's kind of disappointing to see on this platform, but I don't know if it's something that, it's just not something that Sony is putting a whole lot of effort in, since they have different boxes and things that they offer, if they're not just focusing more on the Android TV side. But it is a shortcoming where if you do use a Roku box, it's probably not your best option right now. Speaking of your best options that you have out there, you have a number of them currently to choose from. We're going to go back here to the Nvidia Shield TV. Nope, that's my PlayStation. Even says right there, Shield TV. Before I started this series, I wanted to go with the service myself that provided me with the channels that I wanted at a price I was willing to pay. And at that point in time, the PlayStation Vue service for what I wanted was either $29.99 a month or $35 a month. It had the channels I wanted, the features I wanted too, especially with the cloud-based DVR system. Now they've gone and they've raised their prices, and at least with the area that I'm in, there's no additional features or benefits out there. I don't have local channels available to me. I'm not in a top 25 market. So for me, I feel a little, well, frankly, screwed by Sony if I were to subscribe to their service at this point in time. Value-wise for the channel is very decent. There are other services out there, thinking of both Sling TV and DirecTV NOW, that offer a lower cost per channel, but none of them offer the lower cost per channel plus the features such as the 5 streams concurrently and the cloud-based DVR. DirecTV NOW is testing it currently. Sling TV has it available. I believe it's $5 a month. So there are options out there. As I mentioned in some of my previous videos on cord cutting, one of the best things you can do, get a pen and a piece of paper or a Google spreadsheet or something like that, list what channels are important to you, what services have them, and what you would have to pay to get them. Now on PlayStation Vue, you are missing a number of channels. For example, the Viacom channels are not on PlayStation Vue at this time. So let's go back in here real quick into our PlayStation Vue. And I'm doing the 5-day test right now, and that's one of the other things that Sony has done that has irked a lot of people, is you now only get a 5-day test for doing PlayStation Vue. I think that has a lot to do with people trying to scam it, using fake email addresses, going through and constantly getting free trial after free trial after free trial. They're trying to make it less convenient. But so on the free trial, and I do have one right now, I signed up for just for this, I have gone with their top of the line package. So you have your ABC on demand, Fox on demand, NBC. Those are your basic over-the-air on-demand channels. Again, conspicuous by their absence is you have no CBS on demand at this time. AMC, American Heroes Channel, never heard of that. Animal Planet, BBC America, BBC World News, Boomerang, Bravo, Big Ten Network. There's a couple different Big Ten networks on there. Cartoon Network, Chiller, CNBC, CNBC World, CNN, Cooking Channel, CSN Chicago. I'm in the Central Illinois area, so I get stuck having to watch those damn Cubs. What's weird is I have to get Cardinal games too. There's so many Cardinal fans. It's weird. CSN Chicago Plus, Destination America, Discovery, Discovery Family, Discovery Life, Disney Channel, Disney Junior, Disney XD. Now one thing you see, I'm in the D's here. Going back to the C's, you may have noticed there is no Comedy Central. There is no Nickelodeon, Nick Jr. Those channels are not available through the PlayStation Vue service at this point in time. Going back through here, Disney XD, important to me, DIY, E, 11 Sports Network, Epix, ESPN, ESPN Deportes, ESPN2, ESPN News, ESPNU. I'm disappointed that ESPN The Ocho is not on here. Esports TV, Food Network, Fox Business Network, Fox College Sports, there's a couple of those on here, Deportes, Fox News Channel, Fox Sports Midwest, Freeform, which used to be, I believe that's ABC Family, FS1, FS2, Fusion, FX, FXM, FXX, Ginix Esports TV, I have to admit, I've never heard of that one. Golf Channel, HBO's, Home and Garden TV, Hiya, HLN, IFC, Impact, Investigation Discovery, Machinima, MGM, MLB Network, and an alternate, MSNBC, Net Geo Wild, National Geographic, NBA TV, NBC SN, personal favorite of mine, NFL Network, the Olympic Channel, Outside TV, OWN, Oxygen, Pop, Science, SEC, Showtime, Sony Movie Channel. It's a Sony product. Of course, they're going to have the Sony Movie Channel. Sprout, Sundance, Sci-Fi, TBS, Telemundo, TLC, TNT, the Travel Channel, True TV, Turner Classic Movies, USA, Velocity, and I was right, WeTV at the very end. So that's everything through the normal. This is the $74.99 package that you see that I just demonstrated to you here. Realistically, for my needs, the $39.99 a month plan would cover 90% of what I wanted. For $5 more, I would get everything that I would personally need. So I could do this for $44.99 for my needs. Again, a little bit higher than what DirecTV offers. The cloud-based DVR, super cool, super convenient. There are things that I just can't do with an on-demand service, unlike what I can do with the cloud-based DVR. It's not as necessary as it used to be, but there's still a few things like, for example, I can't watch Monday Night Raw using On Demand. The only way I can have access to Monday Night Raw or SmackDown is if I am utilizing Hulu, for example. So that might be an option for some of you as well, is to go with Hulu for, what is it now, $8 or $10 a month for your on-demand, and there is so much available now over the air using an antenna that you may want to consider. So at the end of the day, would I recommend utilizing PlayStation Vue for your television service? Not like I would have 3 months ago, quite honestly. I was going into this was my service of choice that I'd already made my mind up. I was going to go with PlayStation Vue. Had the features, the prices, and quite honestly, at that point in time, I had been kind of burned out with DirecTV. I wanted to get the hell away from them. Now looking at what they offer, it's a good service, but the value just isn't there now that they've raised prices across the board. Definitely worth a look. You can do the 5-day free trial. What I really recommend, don't get sucked into going to the top tier when you're doing a trial on these services. Go with what you think you're actually going to use, because that will give you a true test on whether or not it provides the service that you're looking for. If you go with like the $74.99 plan, but you're going to wind up with the $39.99 plan, you're going to wind up disappointed because you've set an expectation that this is the service that I'm getting and it's great, but it's free at this point in time. Oh, well, I'm going to just step down to here. Once you do that, you've put the service provider at a disadvantage, and it's unfair all around. Mostly it's unfair to yourself because you'll have a service that you tried and you thought, hey, it's great, and now that you're actually paying for it, well, this sucks. So PlayStation Vue, I'd say I would rate currently, now with the different increases in the rate plans, I would rate pretty equal for me with Sling TV, perhaps a step down again just because of the cost. At the $44.99 plan, what I would go with myself, it's the same price if I did the Sling Orange and Blue and then added the $5 per month for the DVR service. The only thing that I would not have on that, Disney XD. You guys hear me bang that drum a lot. So there you have it. Not a bad service. There are different options out there too. And we want to hear all about the options that you're going with. What are you having success with? What are you trying out? What are you finding? And what's working with you? Please let us know down in the comments. Also, you can email us at any point in time with any questions that you might have at rocksolidstudios.com. check that at rocksolidmail@gmail.com. You can follow us at Twitter at rocksolidstudios. There you go. If you like what you saw here too, make sure that you like and subscribe to the service. Hit that little bell. You'll get a ring-a-ding-ding every time we upload new content. It keeps you up to date with everything that we are working on, including right now we're actually doing this as a live broadcast. So thank the handful of you that did stop by. Let's see, and we will actually address some of these comments here. I see we've got Greg Kendrick there. We'll talk to you in a moment, Greg, once we finish our main part of the broadcast here. You can also support us on Patreon at patreon.com/rocksolid. Just $1 a month can help us out to our goals. We do have an HDMI capture device that we have ordered, should be here this week. So when we do reviews of cool things such as the Gamers Tech 8-bit HD, which will be coming up on the channel soon, will actually have capture right off of the device itself. Pretty cool there. We're ordering new things all the time to try to keep up with reviews, how-tos, different tech devices, different things to help see if you want to spend money on it. So again, I am Gary with Rock Solid Productions. I thank you for watching, and those of you in the live chat, stick around. I'm going to answer your questions in just a moment. We'll see you soon.